I had seen my brother's body swollen and shot. I wasn't sure it was even him, but he had a mole on his. He has a mole on his eyelid. So that was the first thing. Not his tattoos, nothing to look at. And then we was told that he came at the Officer Chris Brown, with a knife. Well, it was a pocket knife, and that he was shot multiple times. And I got really upset. In the video, of course, you see my brother walking in. He's got his hands walking behind his back. Behind him is a door where the manager was, and he came out, didn't know what was going on. He even brushed up against my brother. You know, normally if he was going to hurt somebody, he'd be turning around and wanting to whatever. But he did not acknowledge him, and the guy stood there for a minute. When the officer came in, Officer Chris Brown, he looked cocky and arrogant and direct with his hand on his gun. My brother walks around, never through the video does he even look at the officer. And like I said, my brother is hearing impaired. He can hear a little, but he is very hearing impaired, and he was confused and disoriented. He walks around. Next thing you know, he walks to the back of the store. The officer is then next running towards my brother with his gun out towards him. And my brother is scared, and he runs down the aisle, tries to get away from him. The officer cuts him off, and he has all this room back here. He could have tased him so many times, anything but kill him. My brother stops here, and he only thinks in the mentally ill mind is retreat. He wants to go to work. So he stops here, and the police officer is pointing the gun at him. There's no audio on the tape. And he's turning towards the door, never looking at the officer whatsoever, never. And then he's turning, and his arm is back like this. You don't even see a knife. And then he gets shot here, and when his arm goes forward, he gets shot here, which was the kill shot. He falls in the doorway, and the paramedics come to him, and the officer's gun jammed. It even says that in the report, that he probably would have shot him more times. And that morning, I wished I had a call. Anything, do you need a ride? He would never tell me, Even sometimes he'd say he wanted a ride, and I'd go pick him up. And he had already walked to town. And he's just had an extraordinary life, traveled everywhere. And he was like he was my older brother, but he was like my baby brother, and I just wanted to protect him. And I know he never would have hurt anybody, and he didn't deserve to die, not in the way he did. And I don't want him to his death be in vain, I want there to be a purpose for this, that this isn't going to happen again to somebody else's family, somebody else's brother.